Another Thursday night video live with Barb from barbstamps.com. I reside in Sheridan, Wyoming, and I am super excited to be here with you guys tonight. If you're joining us for the very first time tonight, I am live every Thursday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern, unless, of course, I'm not. Let's just say that normally I am, okay? Normally I am here on Thursday nights. So, and then I always have a free stamping class for you. Now that it is football season, I scale back a tiny bit on my live class on Thursday because I got to get done with this and make dinner and then watch some football. So, tonight it will be the Jacksonville Jaguars meeting the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Very exciting. Trevor Lawrence, if you guys are Jacksonville Jaguars fans, did injure his knee last week, but I understand that he will be playing tonight, so that's good news for him. I don't really care about the Jaguars or the Saints. I mean, I just like football. But I did follow him. He was in college. He played for Clemson, I believe it was, and he was really, 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 really good at Clemson, and he got drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so I still kind of follow the Jaguars just to kind of see, his progress. The Jacksonville Jaguars also drafted a young man from the University of Wyoming. Last season was his rookie season. His name is Chad Muma. He's originally from Colorado, and he played for the University of Wyoming Cowboys for 4 years. So that's pretty exciting too, to watch a fellow University of Wyoming person. And in case you guys don't know, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills also came from Wyoming. He didn't grow up here, but he came from the University of Wyoming and was drafted by the Bills. So there are some famous, and Logan Wilson of the Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys are Bengals fans, you'll know who Logan Wilson is. He also is from the University of Wyoming. So that's all the football we're going to talk about tonight, because I'm sure some of you are doing this. Those of you that don't follow football could care less about what I'm talking, or couldn't care less about what I'm talking about. So there you go. There's just a tiny bit of football. I don't even know, football blah blah for you for a Thursday night. So pretty exciting. You guys might remember last week I made a really cute card for you using the deckled circles. And I put up a challenge for you guys to post your own card of this style on my Stampin' Is My Job Facebook page. And a lot of you have done that. So thank you for participating. I appreciate it very much. And I do have information on there that I will be drawing winners from everyone who participates on November 2nd on my live. Unfortunately, my beloved aunt died on Tuesday, and her husband was military, and so she will be having her graveside service at a military cemetery, and they're backed up a couple weeks, and the date of her funeral is November 2nd. So I will not be here that night to be live to present winners. I thought about maybe going live the night before on the 1st, but I can't because they have a rosary service for her on the 1st. So I need to be there for that as well. So I will probably be gone most of that week. So I will be giving away my prizes for participation, which just means you have an extra week to participate. So instead of the 2nd, it'll be the 9th that I'll be live again, and then I'll be back and we'll be doing prizes for your cards. So I wanted to let you know that, because I really, really, really hate to say something and post a date about something and then not be able to follow through with that. That really bothers me a lot. So I will go in there and I will change the information as it's stated on my website or on my Facebook page, and I will change it so that everybody knows that that's not going to be the case. I will change the date. So thank you for your condolences. I appreciate it very much. It's not a bad thing. She was older, in her 80s, and she had been suffering with dementia and Alzheimer's for a number of years. And so, I mean, it's a blessing, honestly, but still sad nonetheless. She was, I guess, my favorite aunt. When my brother and I were little kids, my mother would drive us to Denver from Salt Lake City when we were kids, and we would hang out with my aunt and my 9 cousins for 2 weeks every summer. And it was the most fun I ever had. It was a highlight of my life. So, why? Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to meet my brother down there. We're going to do the thing, and then that's the way it goes. So tonight I have some super cute cards. Well, I don't know. One of them I'm a little about. You guys will have to tell me what you think about it. It's probably not my best work. We'll say that, but I don't hate it. So we'll see. You guys, maybe you guys can help me make it better. We'll see what happens. So, anyways, trying to think. My son hasn't done anything crazy. He is going to be leaving tomorrow night to go take my car that my daughter bought from us down to my daughter in Laramie. So they will probably have some shenanigans. Who knows? Probably things mother doesn't know. But he's going to be taking my car down there for her. So she's pretty excited to get that car. And then him and his buddy will drive her junker back up here on Sunday. So that should be fun for them, driving the junker. My husband kind of chuckled and he said to me, he said, why don't you just drive her car down there on your way to the funeral and then you can drive the junker home? And I was like, no, I'm not driving that junker, because if that junker breaks down, what am I going to do? At least my son, he could probably, if he's got some electrical tape and a paper clip, he can probably fix it. So there you go. So I will not be driving the junker. I will be driving my new car down there. So there you go. Okay, so he hasn't done anything crazy. He was out of town last weekend, as some of you know, for Hobo Days in Brookings, South Dakota. And I love that some of you guys actually were from Brookings and commented about that. So that's always fun to kind of like, I feel like I know you guys, you know what I mean? When you say, oh, I'm from there too. I was like, oh, that's so exciting. I feel like I know you. So that was kind of fun. He had a good time there with his buddy. He got his hair cut. The guy's girlfriend, she's not a hairdresser. Let's first off say that right away. But she does dabble in cutting hair. I think she's done it 4 times now. She's getting better each time. So the first time she did it, the second time, the third time, this last time, actually not too bad. So he also got his hair cut, which was good because he needed it cut because it gets a little long. So anyways, yeah, he hasn't done anything crazy, so that's good. So I guess with that being said, I don't have any crazy stories. My daughter's not doing anything crazy. She's just plugging along, getting that degree so she can get out of college and go work in the real world. So she's excited to be doing that. I'll get to see my brother, which is always exciting because I only see him usually like once a year if he does come here for Christmas. So I will see him for those few days while we're attending the funeral. So that'll be nice to see my brother. Yeah, I guess that's it. So let me go ahead and flip this camera and we will get to some stamping. And like I said, one card I like, one card, we'll see. We'll see if you guys can help me with it and make me like it, because I don't really. Well, not that I don't. It's all right. It could be better. Oh, Holly is telling us that she grew up in Brookings until what, 7th grade? Is that what it says, Holly? Until the end of 7th grade. That is just so funny to me. Not funny, but, you know, like a coincidence. Like, who would know that I'd be talking about Brookings and there would be people on here from Brookings, South Dakota, because I don't think it's that big of a place. Well, I guess the University of South Dakota is there, so it probably isn't a teeny tiny place. But when you're talking about Western states like Wyoming and South Dakota, the population isn't huge. Anyway, so okay, a little bit of business here. My Oh Holy Night class to go is ready. I am going to be mailing out the kits tomorrow or Saturday. I'm hoping for tomorrow, but it might be Saturday. And then I will get the videos and everything in the PDF done. So that's ready to go. I have 3 kits left. If you guys are interested in a class using this bundle along with the Stars at Night bundle, I'm your gal. I've got a class for you, and the link is in the description. Let's see. Cheryl said she ordered the embossing powder yesterday. Yay. So Cheryl's ready to go. And in case you guys didn't know, the PDF for this class will be posted in Stamp Happy Academy. So if you are a member of Stamp Happy Academy, then you will get the PDF file of this class for free. As that's one of the perks of being a member. You'll also get this PDF for this class for free as a member of Stamp Happy Academy also. It's the Modern Garden online class. This is the one that Dina Kelly and I do together. And we've got some super cute cards for you. And that should be ready by the end of next week, I believe it is. Wow, this month is almost over. This is just crazy. So yeah, it should be the end of next week. Um, Speaking of Stamp Happy Academy, if you guys join my team in the month of October as a new demonstrator, after you place your first order as a demonstrator, you get a free basic membership to Stamp Happy Academy, which gives you all the PDF files to all of our classes that we post every month. So Dina Kelly and I each do a kit to go, and then we do an online class as a collaboration. So there's 4 classes a month that get loaded onto the Stamp Happy Academy site. And as a team member, you get access to those. So that's a great deal, in addition to signing up for $64.35 or getting $168.75 in your kit. Either way, it's up to you, however you want to do it, but it's a great time to become a demonstrator. And there's no pressure. Nothing happens to you if you don't meet the minimum requirements after, I think you have to sell your first $300 by the end of April 2024. So that's a really long time that Stampin' Up! Gives you to meet that first $300. So keep that in mind over the holidays and into celebration. It's not super hard to spend that, just saying. Anyway, as a new demonstrator, if you want to add these new online exclusive products to your kit, you can. We've got the Meandering Meadow Suite, and then we have the Fluffiest Friends bundle, and then we also have the 3-color glimmer paper that can also be added if you want to do that. Yay! Our stamp camp is coming up next month. It's our fall stamp camp. We're calling it First We Turkey, Then We Stamp Camp. We are going to have 15 projects for you, and your swag box, if you will include all the pre-cut cardstock pieces to complete the 15 projects, along with a supply kit of Stampin' Up! Products worth over $50. And then we also have an exclusive event bag that we just finalized everything on today, and they will be here, and I cannot wait for you guys to get that in your box because they're super cute and you're going to love them. And so if you're interested in a stamp camp, we're doing it on Black Friday. Everything is pre-recorded, so you do not have to be around on Black Friday in order to make your projects. The kits will ship out November 13th, so you should have your box in plenty of time for Thanksgiving weekend if you so desire to use it on that weekend. If you don't, you can do it after that at any time. The projects are not necessarily fall. They're not Christmas. They're kind of all occasion cards. So just because we're calling it, First We Turkey, Then We Stamp Camp doesn't mean that the cards are all like turkey themed or something like that, or that they're all Christmas themed. They're not. There might be a couple of, fall cards, or might be a Christmas card or 2 in there, but that's not the entire theme of the camp. The camp is just an all occasion fun cards. And so we're pretty excited about that. So if you are a Stamp Happy Academy member, you get a $10 discount. So my team members and Stamp Happy Academy members get $10 discounts on the Stamp Camp. So be sure to tell your friends. You guys could get together after the fact and create together with your swag boxes. The link to register is in the description of this video, or you can just type this into the browser and it should come up to my registration. So there you go. All right, in addition to the Stamp Camp, our online class for the month of November is going to use the Winter Owls. If you do want to add the Winter Owls class kit to your Stamp Camp, you can at a bit of a discount. So check that out in the registration below. I haven't really added much to my online, to my blog store. But there are some things there. If you're interested in checking them out, you certainly can. I still have mystery boxes. They're just boxes full of all kinds of goodies. They're $99, and that includes the shipping, and they have about $250 worth of product in them. So a pretty good deal. All right, what's next here? Oh, adhesive kits. I always have these for sale. You guys know there's a link to purchase one in the description of this video. And then finally, we've been talking about Stamp Happy Academy this whole time. It's amazing. You guys should join. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. Kelly did her live class for Stamp Happy Academy this week, and of course, she rocked it, as she always does. So Dina will be live next week, and then we'll start in November. Craziness that November's almost here. All right, we have some cards from the mailbox, you guys. I got this beautiful book style card from Debbie, thanking me for the catalog kickoff. We do a catalog kickoff with every catalog, and Debbie is amazing, and she always sends us cards to thank us, and this is her card. It's beautiful. It uses one of our kits. I don't know if this was a paper pumpkin kit or if this was just one of our, I think it's one of our kits from our kits collection. Beautiful card, Debbie. Thank you so much. Then I have this really fun card. I can finally share it with you guys. Sherry sent me this. This was her card that she did for the swap. We usually do a swap in our catalog kickoff group. And this was Sherry's swap card. And now that all the swaps have been posted in the group, I can now share it. Isn't that adorable? She used the Merry Bold and Bright Designer Series paper, the super cute tree from the Berry Christmas stamp set. We have a new Christmas folder that has words and whatnot in the background. And this is just an adorable card, some black and white ribbon. She decorated the inside also. So thank you so much, Sherry, for sending me one of your swaps. I appreciate it very much. I have another swap. This one is from Alora. And Alora also was in the shop. Oh my gosh, she's telling me in her note that she's moving to Cheyenne in the very near future. That's awesome. Well, welcome to Wyoming, Alora. So this was Alora's swap card, another amazing card for the swap. So you guys, just so many fun cards. Thank you so much, Alora. And then I have a thank you card from one of my customers, Carrie. Very sweet of her to send me this. She's using some of that amazing more glimmer paper from the big book, and then some foil pieces. And look how fun that is. That is amazing. So Carrie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, and then my last card is just the template card for you guys to enter my card challenge on my Facebook page, which is Stampin' Is My Job on Facebook, and you can upload your card there. Okay, what did we do last week? Well, we made this card last week. Oh, we made that card and this card. I totally forgot. We made this fun card using the Highland Heather glimmer paper that's in the 3-color glimmer paper that's coming out for customers in November. And then we used the really fun Curved Occasions stamp set for our little focal point there. So those were my cards last week. If you want to check it out, you can go to, after we're done here, you can just click on my name for my YouTube channel and you can find my live from last week. Okay. So we're going to start out, whoops, I just about knocked my light over. We're going to start out with the card that I don't hate. This is a fun card. I like this one a lot. This uses some of the tartan foil designer series paper here. And oh, Cheryl says she ordered the glimmer paper so she could case my card. Oh, it's such a fun card too, Cheryl. And you could do it all different colors and you'll have multiple colors of glimmer paper. Great idea. So I've got this is 2 3/4 by 4 piece of the tartan foil. This is the copper clay color. And I've got a 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 piece of vanilla that this is going to layer onto. I've got a 2 by 5.5 inch piece of copper clay card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and then a copper clay layer that's going to go on the inside. That's 4 by 5.25. And then I have a little banner out of the Stylish Shapes dies that we're going to stamp a sentiment on. So we are going to be using, the sentiment that I'm choosing is the Grateful sentiment from the Cottage Wreath dies because it's a perfect size to fit on this little label. So I thought that was wonderful. So I'm using that. And then I'm also using the Trucking Along bundle. So in case you guys didn't know, I believe this is finally back in stock again for however long, who knows. But it's a really fun stamp set. It's got the coordinating punch. I'm not using the punch today, but you can use the punch to punch out the truck, which is really fun. I do have a class to go for this, or an online class for this bundle, and I have 2 kits left for this. So if you're interested in this, I believe there's a link in the description that you could get your kit. This is not one of the cards in the class. I'm just going to preface that by saying this is one that I just came up with today. So let me get all my stuff out here. So of course we're going to be using the truck. So let me get this stuff out of the way. We're going to use the truck. We're going to use the ground piece. I've got something else here. Got some ribbon. I've got some other stamps. What else? And our ink pads. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a circle out of vanilla. I got to find a piece of vanilla here. So I've got a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And I'm going to get myself a circle out of vanilla. And I'm going to bring in a foam mat since the trucking set is a photopolymer set. And I'm going to start out by inking up my main part of the truck. Ooh, I might need a scratch paper under this. Hold on. Because this might go off just ever so slightly off the edge there, off the side, and there. All right, and then I have a black memento that I'm going to do the detailed parts on. And every once in a while I get asked, why do I have a little stack of Post-it notes underneath my memento pad? And I'll tell you. These pads, I don't know why they designed it this way, but they have like a lot of open space underneath the pad. So when you're pressing on your pad, because there's nothing solid in there, you can actually break your pad, which I have done on both of my StazOn pads because they're designed the same. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's broken. It's broken right there. And you can see with the label, it's broken all the way through. I think it's a poor design in pads, but what am I going to do about it? Nothing. This one, I believe, is also broken. Yep. And so to prevent that from happening, I have a little stack of Post-it notes that I have taped in there to take up that space so that when I'm pressing on this, it's hard. Or if I have it down like this, when I'm pressing my stamp onto my pad, there's not open space under there that is going to, break. Okay, so now I need to maybe be a little bit quiet here so I can focus and see if I can get that. Whew, I did pretty darn good on that, I'm going to say. All right, I'm going to keep my pad open here. And now I'm going to stamp the little sunflowers in the back. So I'm going to take a couple of scratch papers. And you can see I am leaving just a bit of the truck bed showing there. And then I'm going to ink up these fun little, what do you call these things? Sunflowers. And then I'm going to stamp that in the back of the truck. And by having my Post-its there, it kind of masks everything off so that I don't end up like stamping on the truck itself. So then we have a little coordinating piece for these sunflowers, and I'm going to stamp those in some, what is this, crushed curry. All right, and I have to kind of look through and hope that we got that. Yeah, I did that pretty good too. Normally I have to get pretty close up to the things because my eyes are so bad, but that worked out pretty good. Okay, so now I have a smoky slate light marker, and I'm going to do the rim of the tire here in the smoky slate. And then I also did the tiny bit of the rear fender that's showing, and I'll do that tiny bit of the front fender that's also showing. And then I have my dark basic black, and I'm going to just fill in the center of the truck as well as the tire. So I'm trying to focus here. Sometimes with that smaller little area, it's harder to stamp. So now for the leaves on the sunflowers, I'm going to use my old olive marker. This is my Stampin' Write marker. This is not a blend. But these leaves are so tiny that I didn't want to take the chance that I went out of the lines a whole lot. And sometimes with the blends, I can be a little messy. So I kind of wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to happen. All right, I also have a tree here that I want to stamp. And so I am going to mask off the truck again. And again, I'm going to leave a tiny bit of the black showing because that way, then the tree will again look like it's behind everything. All right, hold on here while I do this. There we go. So now we have a tree, and I'm not going to actually stamp anything else. I think I'm just going to leave the tree as it is. Well, they do have a piece. I think I'm going to maybe use some pecan pie. What if I ruin it? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it because I've been known to ruin stuff sometimes. Now that I think about it, I do need the pickup truck punched out. Just out of copy paper here. Oh, I could have used our masking sheets. What am I thinking? I probably should have, but I don't want to do that. I mean, I would, but I don't want to take the time to get it out. So I'm just going to lay that over my truck. And now I'm going to stamp some ground underneath my truck. So it doesn't look like my truck is just, like in the air. And now I'm inking it up again with my crumb cake, and I'm turning in the stamp just a little bit. Stamp it again. And now I should be okay to just stamp a little bit more. I think that's good. So now we have a little bit of ground, and you know what? It looks like the ground is crooked because I kind of stamped that a little weird. I'm going to try to fix it. Now that's fixed. Okay, so there is my kind of main focal point. So let me get rid of some of this ink, because we all know what's going to happen if there's a bunch of ink pads open. Yeah, mess incoming. Okay, so I am going to scooch that over, and I'm going to bring in my little label, and then I have my word here, grateful, that I'm going to ink up in the copper clay. And we're going to stamp that here on this little goodie here. There we go. So I'm going to end up cutting some of it off. That's why I did it to the edge. Okay. I'm going to try to put some of this stuff away so I don't have such a giant mess going on out here. I mean, you guys can't see it, but it's pretty messy over here. And I'm going to clean that off before I stick it back in my bucket because it's pretty inky. I got a little carried away by inking up that stamp, and so it had a lot of excess copper clay ink on it, which again is just gonna make a mess, because sometimes Barb can be a little messy like that. So all right, so I am basically just cleaning everything off and throwing some things on the floor. Okay, so now we're going to do some assembly of the card, but first we need to bring in this piece here. Does anybody recognize this? It's this from the rustic crate stamp set. I had the weirdest revelation today. I was just sitting here working on the card that I don't really like, that's next, and I was working with the rustic crate stamp set. And I saw this, and all of a sudden something came to my mind, and we're going to do it. So we are going to bring in a 2 by 5.5 inch piece. 2 inches is the perfect size for this. The length doesn't matter as long as it's 2 inches wide. So we're bringing in the 2 inch piece, and it just so happens that, when you ink this up and you go to stick it on your paper, you can see right between the 2 end rails, and you can ink this up and you can stamp it, and then you can have a little bit of a wood grain. Isn't that cool? And do it one more time. I don't have to do the whole thing because my focal point's kind of going to take up some of the room here. So I'm just basically looking through my stamp and making sure I can see some white at the top and the bottom there. And then look at that. How fun is that? Wood grain. So again, it only works on a 2 inch piece because that's as wide as this is. I mean, I guess you could maybe go like 4 inches if you did, if it was 4 inches from top to bottom, and you just kept this bottom line off, and then you had a focal point covering the whole center, then you could do another section, and then it would be, I hope that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, all of a sudden that just popped in my head, and I thought, I don't know if someone else has done that. I'm sure somebody else has done that. But it was a new thing for me. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to add this to the center of my card with some seal adhesive here. So we'll just run a strip of seal. Whoops, start up, you little stinker. There we go. A strip on each edge here. And I'm going to use a... Oh, thank you, Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn is asking you guys to give me the thumbs up. Yes, would you please? We're going to try to center this. Where does 2 inches go? Okay, 2 inches looks like it goes between some of the squares here. So we will try that. And then we'll come over here and get it in there. So that's what we have so far. And I guess I didn't need this extra strip. maybe I didn't mean to do that. Well, I kind of did, because I don't know if I could have, oh, if I would have tried to stamp this, I would have gotten the edges. That's why I did that. I'm like, why did I do that? That doesn't make any sense. I think this is crooked. Why is everything I put together crooked, you guys? Can somebody explain that to me? I would love to know. I'm just trying to eyeball this. It doesn't look like it's crooked. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, we're going to add our tartan foil to our piece of vanilla. And there's just going to be a tiny, tiny border on this piece, like about a 1/16 of an inch or so. Get my finger out of there. Okay. And we're going to add our little circle of fun here. And then we're going to add this, but I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. I don't need the whole thing. I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. And then I'm going to add my little banner right up here. And I realize it's kind of upside down, but whatever. All right. Mary keeps mentioning about my nails. I don't know why you're talking about my nails, Mary. Please elaborate. You said you mentioned something in another video about my nails, and I didn't understand what you meant. So please elaborate. I'm going to add this on with some dimensionals. Yep. All right. So hopefully is that in the middle? I mean, I think it is. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this circle. And we're going to try to center it from top to bottom, top and bottom and the side. Not center it, but I mean have equal distance on all those sides. There we go. And then this little guy is going to go right up here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive there. And attach that. So I'm actually leaving a little bit of it free, so I didn't put adhesive all the way down. And then I have a little bow that I tied. Oh, no, Mary, I'm not. No, I'm not a nail biter. So now that makes sense why you were commenting those things. No, that must be someone else. I'm not. I've never had nice nails, and they're still, I mean, they're not nice nails, but yeah. But anyways. Okay, so I have a tiny bow. This is a copper bow. This is that autumn paper collection, or not paper, but the ribbon, where it has the copper and then the nice kind of natural ribbon, I guess. I'm almost out of this. So thankfully, this is supposed to be back in stock next week, so I can get some more. Okay, so I need to scooch that over, and then I'm going to put this right up here at the top of my little banner, just because I thought that might be kind of fun. And then the last thing I need to do is add some embellishment of some sort, maybe. And I don't know. I was going to maybe go copper, but I don't feel like the copper works. I feel like these copper things are better than this copper. This more looks like a pinky copper, whereas this is like the copper that's the same as the ribbon. And then we also have the speckled dots. I think I'm going to try maybe some speckled dots. We'll see what happens. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming and commenting. Appreciate it very much. And I think we're just going to do what Barb normally does. This kind of thing. I'm just going to barely touch them down, though, in case I change my mind. You guys know how it is. If you want to just kind of check, then you can, if you just gently lay them down, you can see if you like them or not. And if you don't, then you can get rid of them pretty easily. But if you do like them, then you can press them down. But I need to get this ribbon chopped off a little closer, I think, because that was bugging me. I think that looks all right. What do you guys think? Those little gems, I don't think they look bad. So I think we'll go ahead with it. And Mary says my nails, well, that's very nice of you, Mary. Thank you. She said my nails look nice. That's nice. Okay. And then I have an inside piece already done where I added the same paper and then did the stamping of the little sunflowers all along the edge. So now I can add that into the inside. So we'll have a nice inside also. And I didn't do anything on the main card base just because I thought with the paper and then the wood grain here and everything that's going on, I felt like I didn't need to have anything else on here. Oh, Diana's asking about my bracelet. Yes, Diana. I mean, yes and no. My daughter loves making these bracelets, and she makes me one for every different season. So I just had my, well, I've had it off for a couple weeks because I didn't have a new one yet, but I had a really kind of fun, bold kind of summery one on. And then I just got this in the mail from her last Friday. And my husband helped me tie it on. And this is my fall Thanksgiving bracelet. And then she will make me another one for Christmas. And then she'll bring it home at Thanksgiving. And then at Christmas, she'll bring me one for Valentine's Day. So she just loves making them. She's turning into quite the fiber person. She's really gotten into crocheting. She loves making friendship bracelets. I don't know what she's going to do next, but she's really into crocheting right now. She just crochets. She's just crocheting her fool head off. So thank you. I will tell her that you commented about it and she will appreciate that very much. So yeah. So I usually always have one on. I don't think I did a new one, so it's not icky yet. Okay. Moving on to the card that I don't know about. Now, this card is also going to use this fun wood technique that I just discovered this afternoon. So we'll see what you guys think of this card. Now, this is the one where I was like, I don't know. We'll see. It's hopefully you guys can help me make it a keeper. So we are going to be using, well, we're only using this stamp set for the sentiment piece in there. And then we're going to use the rustic crate for the fun poinsettia image right there. Got those two things. We are going to be using these metallic enamel effects basics. These are new to the big catalog this season, this year. And whenever I get these things, I like to, oh, I've got ink all over my hands. Hold on while I try to get some of it off so I don't make a mess. And one of my little goodies fell off. So I have a piece of the paper that comes in your dimensionals, so I don't always throw this away. And so I have taken that piece of paper and I have squirted dots all over it. And then they dry, and then you can add them to your projects with a bit of liquid glue or a glue dot, depending on how big the circle is. Now, these probably aren't big enough to do a glue dot, but they definitely could use a blob of liquid glue to stick. We also sell these little wood pieces, and I cannot think of what they're called off the top of my head. They're an online exclusive right now. So they're only in the online store, not in the catalog, but they're really fun too. And you can add this fun paint, I guess it's kind of paint, to these also to kind of jazz them up a little bit. So, and then this is just my little sample card to see what they look like when they're dry. So if I'm trying to decide, if I actually want to put it on a project, I'll know before I actually use it if I'm going to like it or not. So we're actually going to use the gold on this project, just a tiny bit of the gold. So put that aside. Okay, so here's my card pieces. So I decided to go with a cherry cobbler card base. This will be my inside piece. And then I have a piece of white that I'm pretty sure is 3 3/4 by 5. Let's check it out. Yes, 3 3/4 by 5. Hello, Sue. Thank you for joining us. And Quincy, thank you for the kudos on my other card. Appreciate that. And then my pretty peacock, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So this is our front layers, and then our inside layer. And then I have a 2 by 3 3/4 inch piece of Lost Lagoon. And then I have a piece of our adhesive glimmer paper that I cut to be, so this is 2 by 3 3/4. So I cut this to be 2 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I cut a 1/4 inch all the way around it and pulled out the center because this is going to go on top of that. And so, this is a big chunk of glimmer paper. I could do a lot of stuff with this. Oh, you know what? I just had a thought. Hold on. We might do this. This is our little bow punch. And since I did keep this, why don't we give ourselves a couple of glittery bows out of this? And we might use these. This might jazz up the card a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's how I did that. So first off, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on the previous card on this card. And I am going to stamp my crate image This time we're going to stamp it. Did I clean that off? Yes. We're going to stamp it in Lost Lagoon on Lost Lagoon cardstock. But this time we are going to go all the way across. So I'm going to start in the middle, and then I'm going to work my way out. Okay. So I'm just kind of eyeballing the space next to each other, not necessarily trying to have any wood grain, like not trying to have an opening, a hole. I'm trying not to, but sometimes it doesn't always work. We'll see. Yep, that worked out all right. And then our final stamp right there, just like that. So there we go again, using that same stamp. I just think that's kind of cool. It just kind of intrigues me a little bit. All right, so we're going to add the piece of glitter paper to the little section here, and I'm going to go ahead again and use my grid paper to help me. So this does have adhesive already on it, so I need to bring in my take your pick tool, and this is how I do it. I grip the whatever it is that I'm using between my thumb and my finger, and then I just kind of start pushing the pointy tip of my take your pick tool down in there, and it will eventually catch, and then you can peel off the protective backing. All right. Whew. This could be difficult. We'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to get that in our area there, and I am going to try to stick that right at the top. Or not at the top, but right at this dark line here. Ooh. I feel like it might have worked. Okay. Then I'm going to add this piece. So I think this is a little, yes, I can just barely see some excess glimmer paper on there. I don't know if there's any on this side here, but I'm going to chop it anyway just to make sure. Okay, there was not. So it was mostly on that extra on that other side. So now I'm going to add this. I think I'm going to do it with some liquid glue. Where's my liquid glue? Because I feel like liquid glue is going to stick better to the glimmer paper. At least I hope so. We'll see. Okay. Hello, Crystal. Thanks for joining us. All right, so this I'm just trying to center between the two gold spots. And I may have to let that sit for a second just because it might have to adhere itself to the glimmer paper. So we're going to set that off to the side while we do some fun here. So I do have the image out of the Rustic Crate stamp set. This is the poinsettia image, and I did ink that, or I did ink it up in Memento, and I stamped it on white. So it's been drying for a little bit. So now I'm going to bring in my blends, and we're going to do a little coloring on this. Now this is where this is kind of weird. I don't know if I like these colors together, but we're going for it because it's already going. Cheryl, this is a cherry cobbler card base. All right, so I'm going to start with the leaves because I was practicing coloring this earlier today, and I invariably, as I was coloring in the poinsettia leaves, I kept coloring these leaves red also. I wasn't paying attention, or my mind was wandering or something. So I decided that, okay, I need to color these leaves first, because if I don't, then they're going to end up red, and I don't want them red. So that's why we're doing this. Now this is Lost Lagoon. This is the light Lost Lagoon marker. And so I'm trying to stay in the lines. Sometimes it is hard because I'm trying to kind of have it in the frame for you guys to see, and then I can't see as well as when I have it directly below my eyeballs. So then I'm going to bring in a dark cherry cobbler, and there's veins in the petals of this poinsettia, or both of them, I guess, not all. And so I am just doing a little bit of cherry cobbler work on these. Oops, and there's one there. And then we'll get this one as well. So I'm just kind of following the lines that the stamp already has for us. So I'm not doing anything fantastically wonderful as far as my coloring, because my coloring skills are not that great. All right, so now, this is a weird color combination, but this is a sweet sorbet. This is a light sweet sorbet. And so I am going to bring this in now and kind of color around the cherry cobbler. And I don't know if maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should use light cherry cobbler. I probably should have. This is probably where I went wrong and ruined my whole thing. But I feel like if it stinks, I can always go over it with the light cherry cobbler and it will probably be just fine. So we'll see. So I'm going to color in all of these leaves with the light. Yeah, this is sweet sorbet. For a second there, I was like, oh my gosh, did I grab the wrong marker? No, I didn't. It's the right one. It just might not look that great. Okay, so we're going to color that and that. Get all of this. And then we're going to come over and do this flower here. And then we'll see. And I don't know. Well, because I started out wanting to do the whole thing in sweet sorbet, but then it just wasn't working for me. So then I kind of pulled in the cherry cobbler card base. And while I did like that a little better, I still wasn't completely sold. But, you know, it was getting time to go live. And so I thought, well, these ladies that watch with me are very good stampers themselves, and they always have great ideas. So, okay, I don't even know where the color combo came from, Mary. I just, I honestly don't really know. I don't know. I think I was just going to do the poinsettia, and oh, I know, I was going to actually make this card with the Lost Lagoon tartan foil. That's where I started with the foil this afternoon. But the foil was not working for me at all. And then this is the actual card that I was working on when I decided to try this wood grain thing. And so that made me get rid of the tartan foil altogether. But I still kind of liked this. So I don't know. But anyway, so let's see. I think it goes like this. So then I have a dark daffodil. And I'm just going to kind of do the center here, just to kind of keep it all yellow. And then I'm going to bring in this gold enamel effects. And now, of course, you probably have guessed, I've already cut this out and I have one sitting over here that's already dry, but I did want to show you how I use it. So I do typically, when I'm using this, I start with a scrap piece of paper and I squirt out a blob first. That just kind of helps me see, okay, the product is at the end of the thing there. It's not too runny. It's not, you know, anything. So now it's ready to go. And so then I bring it over to my project and I kind of lightly tap it up and down where I want the product to go. In this case, I'm coloring up the yellow, and I did the yellow first just in the event that maybe there was a little spot or something that I didn't get covered with the gold, that it would still look yellowy. So then I just kind of set that around. I kind of tap it a little bit first to kind of get it tapped down, and then I just allow that to dry. So I just set it aside. It probably takes, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. And then I just cropped it out with the coordinating die. So here is my finished one. And you can see those kind of shiny little dots of the gold in the center, which are kind of fun. So yeah, and this was an afterthought, like you guys saw while I was just here making this card. Now that I think that maybe I might actually, you know, maybe somehow, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe this is not the right thing to have back there. Maybe these little flowery things are not the right thing. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, I am going to attach this to the wood part with some dimensionals. So we'll just use a couple dimensionals there. Whoops. Did not mean to toss it across. And I did think I was going to kind of do it at a little bit of an angle. That was my thought process. Again, a little bit of an angle, so it's not like completely straight across. And then I have this ribbon. This is another reason why I chose Sweet Sorbet. This is that new ribbon. If you happen to be a demonstrator or you sign up to be a demonstrator this month, we have an on-stage event coming up in November, and we demonstrators paid for the event if we wanted to go. And if you guys want to go and you're not demonstrators yet, you can sign up to be demonstrators, and then you can purchase a collection of products that includes this sweet sorbet ribbon. Let's see. Mary said, would vellum work behind, like to put behind this? I can already stick it down, and I don't know if I want vellum on there, honestly. It probably would work, but that's not the look I was going to go for, Mary, but good suggestion. So, and I thought maybe just a tiny little bow. I don't know. We'll see. This might not work. Again, that's why I said I don't know about this card. Mary's suggestion is a good one, but I don't necessarily want to cover up my wood. I kind of like the wood, but I might not keep this. Who knows? Where is a glue dot? Oh, here, I was like, here's the box. Well, the dots are in the box, which is where they should be. So there you go. All right, we'll press that into a dot. I'm not going to stick it really hard, just in case I change my mind, because I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. Okay, then my next thought was that I would stamp the Merry Christmas sentiment down at the bottom here. But then I also thought, what if I stamped it on a piece of white and then stuck it on with dimensionals? I don't know. Again, the whole thing just wasn't speaking to me yet. Punched out with the bow punch. Oh, oh, yeah. Mary, good call. Yes, I will try that. I thought you meant like a circle of vellum behind my thing or something. Thank you for clarifying that. That's a good idea. Let me stamp this on there and just sort of see what this process will look like. And then we will definitely get the vellum out and check out Mary's suggestion, because I think that's a great one. And I can use those little gold sprigs for something else, because who doesn't want gold sprigs on something? Oh my gosh, these are my ribbon scissors. I was like, why are these scissors cutting so nice? It's because they're newer and they're only for ribbon, Barb. Anyway, I thought maybe I'd stick that here, but I don't know if I need that on there. I don't know if that looks stupid, or maybe, oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's try this, and I'll get the vellum as well. I'm going to get a strip of Lost Lagoon. And some vellum. Here are some, I have a bunch of little vellum strips here. So we're going to try Mary's idea of the vellum here. Enamel effects are in the annual catalog. Perfect. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, that might actually not be so bad, Mary. We'll see. Kind of tuck those under there, and we'll see what we think. Okay, so while I have that sitting there, I'm going to cut this strip of this Lost Lagoon off to a 1/2 inch. And then I think maybe I'll do this Lost Lagoon. I'll try it. We'll see. I might hate it. We might all hate it. Where's the peacock ink? Do our Merry Christmas again. We'll try it on this. Like so. Oh, no, that was terrible. That was terrible. Thank goodness. All Stampin' Up! Cardstock has 2 sides. Okay, that's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. Okay, don't use your ribbon scissors. I don't know why I keep wanting to use my ribbon scissors. Probably because they work really nice. Okay, that. Oh, I thought somebody said, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, Cheryl. Oh, sorry. Yes, you guys are taking care of things. Thank you. I love it that you guys do that you help each other out, because I just can't monitor everything because my brain just won't allow it to happen. Okay, I am going to attach this to my Cherry Cobbler card base. And then we're going to kind of see what we think with this whole action going on. All right, let's get that on here. Okay. And then that is ultimately what it's going to look like. Scooch it over just a little bit. And then maybe that down there. Okay, so what are your thoughts, ladies? I don't think there's any men watching, so I will say ladies. What are your thoughts? Do you guys think that this is better than just white? Or should I just stamp it in, not even have a banner down there and just stamp it onto the white cardstock? I'm totally open for suggestions there. While we're discussing that, I'm going to stamp this poinsettia down here in the corner. And then I'm going to color it in real quick. Where's my stamp? Here's my stamp. And where's some ink? Here's the ink. Okay. Need to put a little sticky note pad in there. Okay, so you guys let me know if you think you like that or if you hate it. Tell me that too. I am totally fine with you hating it. Okay, so I stamped that on there. I'm going to shake it a little bit. White flag sentiment over the top of the other flag. I get what you're saying, Heather. Better stamped on the colored. Okay, so this was Heather's suggestion. Her suggestion was to do this. Something like this, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, Heather. Her suggestion was to do something like this, which I don't hate. What Heather said, Sue is saying. Julie likes the banner in Lost Lagoon. Mary says she likes it stamped on the white, and it doesn't take away from the flower. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. What would the gold look like behind the greeting? Oh, interesting. I think that might be too much gold, but we can try. So, oh, color at the end. Gotcha. Okay. This was Heather's suggestion. Just at the end. So I would need to scooch this forward a bit. Just stamp the sentiment on the cardstock. Boy, everybody, you guys, there's so many differing opinions here. I love it. I don't know what to do. I do like that. I'm not a huge fan of just the white, but I see where you're saying that it takes away from the flower, because then the flower is not necessarily the focal point. The sentiment kind of is. But this, I think, would work for not taking it away from the focal point. So I do like that. Cheryl mentioned maybe adding some glitter. I think this might do exactly what we were talking about, that it might take away from the flower. If we have too much going on down here at the bottom, then there might be less interest in the flower. And I agree with that. I think I'm going to go with what Heather said and add this, having just a tiny bit of that sticking off on the end. Where is my seal? I just had it in my hand because I just literally used it and now I can't find it. Well, this is just ridiculous. If I look in the camera, sometimes stuff shows up. Nope. Well, what do you know about that? I guess we're going to go with some liquid glue because I literally can't find it. Okay, so we're going to add this. Whoops. I got a... Oh, goodness, we had a big one. Okay. So let's do this. Add our glue. And I think we can just go ahead and use this because I think the banner end, we won't be able to see the words. And I think if I just get really close there, something like that. So we have just a little bit showing. Now I am going to chop this end so that it's even, because I don't know if I think I might have used scissors and it wasn't nice and straight. Okay. So I guess I have a little excess here of this Lost Lagoon wood piece. Now we're going to cut off. And then I can add this to this peacock layer. I got to attach my little vellum sprigs too. Great idea from Mary. Oh, you guys are just full of ideas tonight. Yay! Okay. I'm going to use some glue dots, I think, because that's always the easiest way to get something on. Is just to go with a glue dot. So I'll press a glue dot there. I think I'm going to rip off that little end because I don't think I need that. And then I think we can just kind of tuck that under. Here's the other one. I'm going to rip off the tail end of that. And we'll add the glue dot here. Whoops. I think right here. I think we'll go with it right there. Okay. And then we're going to add our, oh no, look what I did. But at least I can cover it up. I must have, I do. Sorry, I had a tiny bit of ink on my finger, so I had to lick that and get rid of it. Okay, here we go. It's non-toxic, so it won't kill me. Just in case, you have little kids and they chew on our ink pads. They shouldn't die. Okay, I am trying to get that straight, because you know me, I have such an issue. There's a tiny bit of lost, or of, what do you call this color? Pretty Peacock. There, I need my adhesive or my ink eraser. Thankfully, it's just a tiny, tiny little spot, and I don't know as though anyone's going to notice it after I do that. Get that off. Look, you guys, look what we did. Okay, let me quickly, oh no, why am I getting ink all over everything? Look at that. That is a hard pass. Ugh, now we need a new piece. I cannot have that. That will be a scrap now. Okay, hold on. I need to try this again. And I also have some small little pearls that I did want to add to this too, that are kind of like Lost Lagoonish. I think they were supposed to be like soft succulent from last year, but they totally work with the Lost Lagoon, the festive pearls. And so we're going to see. Again, you know how I am. We can always stick it on there. And if we hate it, we don't have to leave it. We can easily take it off. But if we like it, we can leave it. Okay, oh, that one somehow got the glue dot in a weird spot. Yeah, that one's just going to go in the garbage. There's something wrong with that one. Okay, hold on. And I don't know. Maybe this is too much. You know, sometimes you can go overboard. And I definitely have in the past. So there's that, if we want to keep it. And then I am going to quickly, well, I don't know how quickly I can color this, but we'll see. I hear men rummaging around upstairs, so that tells me the men are home. I should have left some instructions for them to start the food, and I did not, and that was really silly. So, we'll just have to eat fast, because the game starts pretty quickly here, like, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something. Okay. So, now we have the sweet sorbet, and we'll just add that. And then I also have a little strip of glimmer paper that I did want to add to the edge of this card, of this inside piece, because I think that might look kind of cool. Let's make sure I don't screw this up by going outside the lines or something, because, oh, good Lord, I've done that many times. Thankfully, with the inside layer, you know, if it does... Oh, I just did. There I go again. Chatting too much and not paying attention to what I'm doing. It's hard, though. It's hard to color and talk at the same time. But yet I feel like if I was silent for, 3 or 4 minutes, you guys might be wondering, what's going on? Is the sound getting screwed up? Who knows? Okay, so there's that. We're not going to put the gold stuff in the middle. We'll just go with the yellow. And then where is my strip of gold? I just had it. I literally just had it. Ugh! Oh, boy, I tell you. Oh, is it this? Yes, it was upside down. Okay. So, pizza night. Oh, I would love for it to be pizza night. I should have had it be pizza night. I guess I'm in charge of that. I can do whatever I want. It's not, though. Okay, so I thought if I added this little strip down here, that might be a little bit of fun on the inside. And then we'll add this. So it actually isn't as bad as I thought, you guys. I was really concerned about this color combination. I thought it just wasn't working for me, and I was really struggling. And I thought, oh my gosh. But it worked out. I think I'm going to keep the little pearls because I think they're kind of fun. They kind of almost match everything. There it is. You guys, thank you for helping me make it so that I liked it. I just was so not liking this thing at all. All right, and then here is our other card that we did today. Yay! So if you guys have any questions or concerns, leave your comments below. I try to answer questions if you guys ask me. I can't always, but I try. And there's the insides. And so I will be live next week. Yes, next week I will be here. The week after I won't be here, but I look forward to seeing you guys here next week. So continue adding your cards on my Facebook page for this design. If you don't remember, don't know how I did this card, I do have a standalone video in my YouTube channel video library, I guess is what you call it. So you can check out how I made it and you can add your own cards. Super fun. And I will see you guys here next week. So have a great one and I'll see you then, guys. Bye-bye.